How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. The US government just moved 31,000 Bitcoin and it's freaking out the market. You can see actually a bit of a sell-off, more than we are already having, with Bitcoin going down to about this bottom area that we had just wicked down to before, but now we're falling right back down there, approaching 64,500. I want to talk about this, what this means, whether the government's about to dump. I also want to talk about 5 different assets that I'm buying right now that I think they're going to do extremely well for me in the future. Even in the short term, I think they're going to do really well. And I did say that you have about 4 hours. I'll explain why that is later in the video. Know that there is a reason for it, but I'm not saying that in 4 hours all of a sudden we're going to spike back up to $70,000 Bitcoin. That's not what I'm saying necessarily. But I do think there is a time component that you have to be aware of. If you don't mind, hit subscribe. Turn on the bell notification underneath the video so you can see future videos just like this one as soon as I make them. There's also going to be a link underneath the video to Margex where you can trade cryptocurrencies, long or short. So if you think the market's going to keep on falling, well, you can put money on this platform with no KYC, meaning you don't have to put a lot of personal information. You can just start up in a few seconds. You can put money on this platform, stablecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then you can start shorting the market if you want. Now, I don't like to short the market. I like to bet on the market going up because that's typically what it does. It's kind of like a never-ending escalator, right? If you were in the middle of a mile-long escalator and it was going up, would you try to fight against it? No, you'd probably go with the escalator. You probably just sit there and let it ride up, which is what I think we should do in this crypto market. I think we should be going long or just holding, waiting. But if you do want to go short, you can use the link underneath the video. There's also a link down there to CoinW as well, in case you want to start trading over there. They have spot trading and futures trading right now. Margex is rolling out. I heard they spent $3 million on rolling out a new Margex 2.0 where you can actually swap your cryptocurrencies or you can trade them feelessly, right? That's a word. Feelessly into different cryptocurrencies. So be on the lookout for that. But there are links to both of those underneath the video. Now, we just got news. The U.S. government is moving 174 Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people will say this is to sell, and it's definitely a possibility. They said, I think it was last year, 2023, that sounds right, that they were going to sell all the Bitcoin that they held. And they hold a significant amount, much more than this 30,000 Bitcoin here. I think it's around 200,000 Bitcoin that we know of. But they didn't sell it last year. And we don't know for sure if they're going to sell it this year. We just know that they're moving it. Now, does this scare me? No, right? 30,000 Bitcoin, if they go sell it all at once or they chop it up and sell it, yeah, it's going to push down the market. But do I really care? No, because this market is going to swallow this up pretty quickly. 30,000 Bitcoin. If you look here, Mr. 100, I know we talk about Mr. 100 a lot, but just today, Mr. 100, this entity or person or whoever it is, has bought 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800 Bitcoin. So, yeah, the government might sell 30,000 Bitcoin, but between the ETFs, between Mr. 100, it's going to be swallowed up. So yeah, we might see a dip in price, a temporary dip, but does this change my long-term plan of selling in, a year from now? No, not really. It doesn't change anything there. I still think we could see some short-term pain, but long-term, this market's extremely bullish. So having one less overhang, just like having GBTC sell their Bitcoin, just like having FTX go through their estate, right? It's just one less seller that's going to come out of the woodwork at the top of the cycle to push down the market, right? One less overhang, it gets the Bitcoin into stronger hands. So if they sell, so be it. I know some people that will be happy to gobble that Bitcoin up. Now, I did mention, you have 4 hours, right? Why did I say this? Well, it's partly because it gets people to get off their butt and actually start researching, doing some work, making sure that they're paying attention to the market. But part of it is we do have the fund flows, we have the ETF flows in about 4 hours. Now, why is that important? Well, yesterday we saw a day of outflows. The markets seem to be really influenced by whether the ETFs are selling or buying, right? So either we flip back bullish, people maybe buy up this dip, and then they're not so worried because we have seen that in the past. Like even yesterday, we went from 71,000 down to 68,000 up to 70,000, basically all because of the ETF flows. Like people were just watching that, and it was kind of a slow day in the market. But that might happen today. If we have another strong day of inflows, then it goes back to people saying, oh, wow, the ETFs are going to keep on buying. This narrative's not done. This is a great chance to buy before the halving. We should eat this up. Versus, if we do have another day of selling, well, crap. We have another day of selling. Maybe this is going to send down the market more. And then we go down to like maybe 60, 61,000. But we'll know that today. It's just a question of, okay, do you want a dollar cost average now or buy right now? Or do you want to wait to see if we fall even further? We've seen some strong support around 60,000. I'm not saying we can't break that, but that's what we've seen in the past. So maybe we get a bit more of a discount, but we know where this is going long term. So obviously the market's down a little bit here today. I did make a couple of purchases. Let me reload the page here. But first of all, you have to know I have been accepting a lot of payments in cryptocurrencies. Now, some of those I have been selling off. Like as they come in, I take them and I just sell them on Coinbase. So it's basically like I'm just getting paid USD. But I have been keeping some of my Bitcoin. So when I get paid in Bitcoin, I'll sell half of it for taxes because I do need to cover taxes. And then I keep the other half. I've been doing that even today. I got paid some in Bitcoin. I'm going to sell half and then keep half. So I'm still accumulating more Bitcoin. That will stop around the halving where I just start sitting on my hands, selling off all the new Bitcoin that comes in. So I'm not selling off any of my stack. I'm just not really accepting Bitcoin as payment anymore. So around that time, I'll stop. But right now, I'm still accumulating. I'm still essentially buying, right? It's like I'm getting paid in US dollars. I'm getting a paycheck and I'm going out and buying Bitcoin with half of it. That's how I view it. So I am accumulating some more Bitcoin. Also, to be completely honest with you, I had a little chunk of money in an account, and I did put on a low leverage long on Bitcoin. So I think of that as different than Bitcoin because it's more price related, obviously, kind of like an option in the stock market, but that's more time related than price related. This is very price related, so I do think of it as much higher risk than something like just buying spot Bitcoin. But I also see that it has a higher reward. And at the leverage that I used, like we would have to break down far, far below 60,000, below 50,000 to the low 40,000s to liquidate me. So I think that it's a decent play, high upside, relatively low downside. Of course, I could always be liquidated, so it is high risk, but I do like these kinds of long leverage positions or these kind of like low leverage positions that are more long term. I've done them in the past, I'm still up hundreds of percents on a lot of these positions that I added to in the 40,000s, the 50,000s, and I think it's going to be the same thing. The good thing about lower leverage is even though you miss out on some upside, you can weather more of this price turbulence. But I like putting these on when we have already seen a bit of a dip. I also would like to accumulate some more Solana. I just got paid in some Solana for some work that I've done, and I got paid in it. I may hold on to part of it. I really do think I need a bigger Solana stack going into this next bull run, so that might be one that I hold on to. Another couple cryptos I'm interested in, I'll tell you about here in a second. But I did buy a stock today. I bought Tesla stock. Now, did I buy a lot of Tesla stock? No. I bought my normal dollar cost average amount that I put into the stock market, but I put it all into Tesla today. Now, why is that? Well, they had some pretty, I don't want to say disastrous. They had some pretty bad Q1 numbers for deliveries. They actually made a good amount of cars, but they say because of some arson at one of their factories, because of some shipping issues, because of the Chinese New Year, they had an issue with deliveries this first quarter. So they actually delivered less, I think, year over year this quarter, which the market doesn't like. We knew this was going to be a bad quarter, but it was worse than expected. Now, the reason I bought this, you might be saying, why would you buy this when they have one of the worst quarters in recent history compared to expectations? Well, I think we've been just selling off a lot. And when I look at this company over the next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I think it's got a really bright future. It's one of the best car companies out there in terms of manufacturing. Well, it's the best car company in terms of manufacturing. some of the best in terms of technology, the best in terms of technology. I think what they're doing right now with full self-driving, I actually just got full self-driving on my Model 3 because they're rolling it out to a bunch of people to try out for a month. I tried it out and I was kind of blown away. Like I own Tesla stock. I have been paying attention to it for years, but I've never been in a car with FSD. And after riding in it, it was really impressive. Like there was one time where it just took the wrong route, but I took my wife in it too, and she was freaked out. Just like when we started with auto steer. The first time we ever used auto steer, it was kind of freaky taking your hands off the wheel or just like letting it keep you in between the lines. But you get used to it, just like full self-driving. She was freaked out at first, but she thought it was pretty cool, and she doesn't pay attention to Tesla. Like she's never really experienced FSD. She's never watched videos on FSD. She was just amazed by it. And I think a lot of people will feel that, and a lot of people will probably buy FSD. I wouldn't be surprised too if Tesla did something like a monthly payment for FSD. Like at the end of this month, they roll it out. Hey, you can either buy it, or for $150 or $200 a month, you can get access to FSD. I think a lot of people would upgrade their vehicles for that, which would be very profitable for Tesla. Obviously, that's just all like cherries on top. Also, Cybertruck is ramping. Model 3 refresh is ramping as well. Bot is obviously still a call option on the company. So I bought some shares here today. I might buy some more too if we continue to see some weakness. I've been buying over the previous couple weeks too, but I bought a little bit more here today. Okay, a couple other things that I bought. So you know that I've been talking about Rainmaker. This is a cryptocurrency that allows you to generate AI and then go and you can earn tokens from giving it feedback, helping to train the AI. This is a launch through Tencent. I've talked about this before, and you can get $225 worth of USDC on the Base chain. So this is actually the first time I've used Base, but I did this today and I got $450 worth of Rainmaker. The cool thing about this is you do have a 7-day claim back policy. So if the launch goes horribly, I can still get my $450 back of USDC. If you want to check this out, again, you can just search my financial friend Tencent, and I have videos talking about how to get access to the Launchpad. But otherwise, you can go check out Tencent's Twitter to learn a little bit more. I also have been investing in some other smaller cryptos that haven't launched yet, like EC. They're doing a token airdrop, so I'll leave a link to this underneath the video. You can actually get in on this snapshot, where if you use the platform, because they just launched on their mainnet, their beta version. If you do this, you can get part of the airdrop. They have instructions on how to do this, but follow my link underneath the video and it will get you started. So definitely go follow EC over on Twitter. And I'm not partnered with EC to talk about this. I am just investing in it. It's something that I'm interested in. So I wanted to bring it to your attention as well. Now, let me know what you're buying here today. It seems like there's some nice discounts in the market. Might be some more FUD on the way. Who knows? I'm not here to spread FUD, but I'm here to tell you what people are saying. I'm here to tell you what's happening. So I'm going to do that, even if it doesn't sound super bullish on the face of it. I'm here to tell you why, in the end, it will be okay, right? So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. You can check out the link to Margex underneath the video and to CoinW. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.